Mayor, would you like to begin?
Yes, please.
Good evening. This is a meeting of the Borough of Highlands Mayor and Council regular meeting on Wednesday, September 21st, 2022. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times, and by posting at the Borough of Highlands Municipal Building and filing with the Borough Clerk all on January 1st, 2022. Items listed on the agenda are subject to change. I will now do the roll call. Councilmember Cervantes.
Here.
Councilmember Kilak.
Here.
Councilmember Melnick.
Here.
Council President Olszewski.
Here.
Mayor Brion.
Here.
We have a quorum. Please stand for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, we have oath of office for Kevin Connor Patrolman.
Repeat after me. I, Kevin Connor, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. And I do swear to faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of patrolman according to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations.
You guys can come up. Go right ahead. Go as close as you want.
We know you're all going to be wanting to go to the after party, so please take this time to do just that. And have a great evening and enjoy. You'll all be very proud.
The after party was almost working. But somebody else is going. Thank you.
Take care.
Next, we have September 7th, 2022 meeting minutes for approval.
I'll offer them.
I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick? Council President Chesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve September 7th, 2022 meeting minutes. Next, we have September 7th, 2022 executive session minutes.
I'll offer them.
Second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Olszewski?
Yes.
Did I say Councilmember Melnick?
No,
Sorry. Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve September 7th, 2022 executive session minutes. Next, we have introduction of proposed ordinances. 02220, removing restricted parking space in front of residents occupied by persons with disabilities.
I'll offer it.
And just for the public, it's because, the person no longer lives at this place, so we do not need to have the parking spot there. And I'll second it.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Chesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to pass ordinance 02220 on first reading, with a public hearing to be held on October 5th, 2022. Next, we have 02221, amending Chapter 5, licensing of dogs, Section 5-14, licensing and control of cats, subsection 5-14.1, licensing of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Highlands.
I will offer this one, and this is just putting that the licenses for cats will be at the same time as licensing for dogs, because no one could come up with a good reason why they were 6 months apart, so we'll do it all at the same time. Can I get a second?
I will.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Chesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to pass ordinance 2221 on first hearing, but the public hearing to be held on October 5th, 2022. Next, we have public hearing on proposed ordinances 02218, designating restricted parking in front of the residence occupied by a person with disabilities.
I'll put forward.
Well, we have to open it to the public first. Does anyone from the public have anything to say regarding this ordinance? Okay, then I will close public portion.
Put forward. I put forward.
I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Chesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance 02218 passed on second and final reading. Next, we have 02219, amending Chapter 2 Administration, Section 2-10.2, entitled Composition of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of Highlands.
I will also offer this, and this is for, changing the composition of the, police department, as per recommendation of the chief, who's no longer here. So I'll offer it. May I have a second? Oh, public portion, yes. Does anyone have any comments on this ordinance? Seeing none, I'll close public portion and offer. I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Chesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance 02219 passed on second and final reading. Next, we have resolutions. R22-11, authorizing a place-to-place transfer, extension of premises of liquor license 1317-33-019-012.
And for anyone that has not committed all of those numbers to memory, that is for the seafarer and their expansion of their use using the riverboat. And I will offer.
I'll second.
Councilmember Cervantes? Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick?
Yes.
Council President Chesky?
Yes.
Mayor Brian?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution R22-11. Next, we have consent agenda. Mayor, would you like me to read the resolutions by title?
Yes, please.
R22-12, authorizing Payment of bills, R22-213, authorizing execution of Clean Energy, Community Energy Grant Agreement between the State of New Jersey Board of Public Utilities and the Borough of Highlands.
I will offer.
Second.
Councilmember Cervantes.
Yes.
Councilmember Torre.
Yes.
Councilmember Melnick.
Yes.
Council President Chesky.
Yes.
Mayor Brian.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolutions R22-212 through R22-213. Next, we have reports.
Does anyone like to start? Mr. Maloney, would you like to start?
Fine, sure. So, open space for all of you who have walked through. You can see some of the construction that's happening down here, here at Huddy, or not Huddy, sorry, Sept Harbor. So this is the final phase of open space grants that we had planned for this year. So we had done Huddy, we had done veterans, we had to wait for rec to end before we did the construction down here at Stud, which is inclusive of some playground equipment here, but also sports court, which is going to be inclusive of the tennis court / pickleball court, as well as the basketball courts here down at the rec center area. So we're excited to see that final phase wrap up for all the park improvements here for 22. Also, just a reminder, if anybody missed it, Senate from Sandy gave us the presentation for the new planned park up on 36 Overlook Park. So this is one of the items we've been discussing within the open space, and we're very excited to see a new park come online here in Highlands. And so thanks to the fruition. If anybody wants to see what we planned at, feel free to go onto the website and see the video. Very exciting to see that come together. With that new park and with the new school year, we had planned, hopefully at the end of last school year, but now it's a little too tight, but now with the school year in swing, with collaboration, we're working with HRS, specifically with the art department and Christmas Fair, to engage with the students in a contest so that they will draw a map of Highlands, specifically designating all the different open spaces, and specifically the open spaces that we can render both digitally and maybe in print, maybe for distribution down at the municipal hall. But basically, have the kids engage and say, look at all the different open spaces we have here in Highlands. And so that people know that it's more than our beautiful restaurants, our fun establishments to go and have beverage, but also the open spaces. And so that's one of the activities, the open spaces, and engaging with the community on. And then last but not least, for open space, we had a comment from the public that came about, what can we do to make it a little bit more understandable as to how to get that open access to the water down by One Willow. And so looking into it, Google Earth is a very simple and free and very publicly accessible way of just giving us that bird's eye view of that walkway. And maybe we could even think about, better signage down there. I walked down by the water there, and maybe it was trespassing, maybe it wasn't. It would be great if I knew, like, you go in and see, right, here's public access, right, visualizing those blue signs, so that there is no hard feelings when somebody's walking on the sidewalk. It's public if it's not. So that wraps up open space, communication. I had a couple months for communication. Summer is a little slow, but we have been doing some work. There's been a little bit of redesign on the communication section, specifically of the borough website. We had some access issues that we got resolved, but we're making some progress, and with some of the help, especially led by Kurt Martin from the committee, we have been able to work on that outreach to the various HOAs, condo associations through Highlands, making a very easy subscription standalone link to embed into a communication that we can send to those boards and those presidents of those associations to say, here's the link, sign up for our email notifications. We also fixed that issue where the emails weren't going out, so that when we do post to the website, we do send out that digest at 10 a.m. every Friday to say, here's what's happening in town, so that everybody in all those associations can stay engaged with what's happening in town. And then also lastly, don't forget that these committee meetings are almost all on Zoom. We had interest from a member of the community, he wasn't a member of the committee, but he showed up at the communications committee and put in a citizen volunteer form, and he will now hopefully be a member of the committee going forward. So that's a reminder that both that these meetings are open to the public, And that as all these meetings are made up of volunteers, you never know when somebody's lifestyle might need to change and they can't bear the responsibility of the committee. Slots open up all the time, so if you're interested, feel free to jump on one of those Zooms any given month. You never know when more help is needed, because help is always needed. And then lastly, for Shade Tree, not a whole lot of news as we're preparing for fall, but we did hear some of the comments from previous meetings. We did have all those great plantings of the trees along the way, and it is unfortunate not all of them look like they're going to make it, especially the one on Atlantic, that one doesn't look like it's doing too well. Maybe three, maybe more, aren't holding up too well. So when we had our meeting this week, the Shade Tree Commissioner, Christian Lee, and I spoke about, let's look into those that specifically didn't do so well. There were so many that are doing well. What is it about those particular locations isn't great? Is there a better fit for those locations, or is there something about those specifically that isn't really conducive to having a tree? So rather than just throw up our hands and say, well, too bad, let's just figure out what the problem is and get to the root cause, and absolute pun intended on that. And then lastly, one takeaway from that meeting also is, not sure, and there's maybe directed that meeting, next meeting, whatever is going to be discussed with Ederly for the design session, to engage Shade Tree as well with that, because I know that we have some tree work up there as well. So pretty much tap in, and yes, 2 funds, 1 report. And that's it for
Sure. Okay, just a short one on schools tonight. We had a board meeting, or the elementary school had their board meeting, which I was able to go to the other night, and they had a successful opening. Enrollment's down just a trickle. I think it was 179 last year, it's 171, but the pre-K's got 26 kids, so that's happy. That looks good for the future. They had a great summer program, again, in sync with the rec department here. The kids took part in a lot of great STEAM activities and then came down here to have a nice time afterwards. Regionalization is in flux. It's in the hands of attorneys now. There's really nothing to report, and hopefully by the next meeting we'll have something to talk about. Beautiful new playground. It's really cool. You have to come down Linden or come down Ward, but you can't miss it. And tonight is Henry Hudson's meeting, so I have nothing to really report on the high school.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, good, nothing HBP-wise? What's coming up, Leo, for HBP?
October 1st?
October
Coming
1st?
up?
On October 1st.
First, October 1st. Coming up? Which one?
Just gonna show us car show.
Oh, that's right.
Weekend.
Car show, that's
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah.
Raising money for,
What date is that?
Sunday the 25th.
Sunday the 25th is the rescheduled, car
Yeah,
show?
it's the rain date from 9/11.
Okay.
Good one.
I have a question about that. We're supposed to vote on the best cars or whatever. What time would that take place? I mean,
Well, we moved the time up, right, 11 now?
yes.
So, you have to give, obviously, there'll be time
Sure.
depending on how many cars we get. We usually, do the awards towards the end, so just come down, have your mind made up for, like, the council has one trophy, so collectively, and then the administrator has one, and the chief has one, mayor has one.
It starts at 11?
Yeah. So, you gotta give yourself time, depending on how many cars we got, we really don't know since it's a rain day. But even if it was 100 cars or 200 cars, you gotta give yourself time to look and.
So it ends at 3, so
have your mind made up by
Yeah.
2.
We'll do the awards around too.
yeah, okay. Awards at 2.
Yeah.
Where's the first gonna park? Is this in the?
It's gonna be, surrounding Huddy Park and the skate park all around, yeah.
Okay.
We did have to go down towards the laundromat last year, just on one side of the road, not last year, but the rest.
Last time.
So, again, we really don't know. The car club that participates in our St. Patrick's Day Parade, they're coming. So there is a lot of interest, in addition to Cruise and Productions, who promotes the car show and sets it up for us. We've had a lot of outside interest just calling us and saying, but unfortunately, he registers them that day. 100, could be
Right.
150, could be 80.
Yeah.
We really don't know.
Okay,
How's the weather? Did you,
cool. It's supposed to be cool.
but not raining,
Yeah,
so that's good.
that's all they care about.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Great.
And Kim, do you have anything to report on your meeting?
Well, the green thing, you know, I should have done this last meeting, but I know you were involved with other stuff. They had a great, table at the Clown Chest. They had, all day long, they had people coming, they had, residents asking questions, they were giving out doggy bags or doggy bags for poop. And giving various, tips on recycling and things to do. A lot of people were interested in, whether or not we would develop the oyster beds. They had asked about that. And, I forget her last name, Allison, Hollander is the, chair. She's the chair of it, and she's doing a really great job, working hard on getting, for Sustainable Jersey, getting, more points for the town. And, they handed out reusable grocery bags, composting tips they were asked about, talked about the wellness event, and it was very successful. They were very happy with it. I didn't get a chance to get over there to see it, but I understand, you know, it worked well, so. The Environmental Commission, they didn't meet in September, we're meeting in October. They're, still talking about the, Army Corps of Engineer project.
Which we can't really do anything with because, we're waiting for New Jersey DEP, who is our quote-unquote local department.
But they're very, the Environmental Committee is very, 3 or 4 members that are in it are just, can't understand, and say why we haven't done anything yet. And as Carolyn said, we're waiting for DEP.
Yeah, we can't do anything without the DEP.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. I don't have anything. Gentlemen, do you have anything you'd like to report on?
Nothing comes.
Couple quick things, Mayor. We had a meeting at Hillside Avenue, Paper Street, Hillside Avenue, up on Twin Lights Terrace, with the contractor and the 2 residents that are in tight quarters of that stabilization project that we're trying to do. It was a good meeting. Residents were very receptive to the work that we're doing, and we worked out, you know, staging areas and things like that. So that work is going to start soon, probably early October. The improvements to Sun Harbor Park, Don already reported on that. Work has started, some preliminary work, and they're going to start ramping up pretty soon. The improvements to South Bay Avenue and Hillside Avenue, that work, the storm work and sanitary sewer is done. The concrete work is going to start next with the curb and sidewalk, and then they'll move into paving after that. And then improvements to Marine Place Walkway West. After several meetings with residents, a couple meetings here and some presentations, we're finally getting this one underway. We had a pre-construction meeting last week, and the contractor is eager to start. He's probably going to try to get going the first week of October. And that's all I have.
Any update at all on the large cemetery?
That unfortunately, they are still waiting for materials. It's very frustrating. They're doing as much as they can, preliminary work to get themselves ready. Test pits, investigation of sewers. They're sending cameras through some of the sewers so they can specifically locate certain services that they're unsure of where they are. I know there are some buried manholes that they have to find. So they are doing some work. You're just not really seeing it because there's no actual construction and digging just yet. But we're working with them as much as we can, and we're just waiting on their materials, and hopefully that is going to be delivered in the next few weeks.
One question on South Bay.
Yes.
Did you ever reach any type of agreement regarding easements with any of the property owners there?
I'll defer to Andy if there's ever been an agreement reached, but I think we're still kind of working that out.
Yeah, there's nothing in place yet. Not last year, I know we sent the initial correspondence out to the property owners around the area, trying to hopefully negotiate something that's reasonable among the property owners as opposed to going down there. So nothing done yet.
I heard that there was interest, I just didn't know if it got further than interested parties.
Yeah, we've had some communication with some of the residents, and, we're just kind of working through the process with the borough attorney and with the residents, just to make sure everything is done properly, before we actually, begin that next phase of this project.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have anything else? Nancy, if you could read the public portion announcement.
Individuals wishing to address the council may be recognized by the presiding officer and shall give their name, address, and the group, if any, they represent. Although the council encourages public participation, it reserves the right, through its presiding officer, to terminate remarks to and/or by any individual not in keeping with the conduct of a proper and efficient meeting. If any individual refuses to conduct themselves in a proper manner, they will be removed from the meeting. The council will not, during the public portion of this meeting, discuss matters involving appointments, termination of employment, negotiations, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of, promotion or discipline of any specific or prospective or current employee. There's a 3-minute time limit for comments.
I'll open it to the public. If you could go to the microphone, please.
Hi, 62 Bradley Point Road.
Can you push the button?
Carla Cefalo, 62 Bradley Point Road, and this is regarding the Highlands Business Partnership. So I just want to comment, in hearing a lot of feedback over this past Saturday's Twin Lights bike ride. I know there was a lot of compliments, but also a lot of complaints, and the town was very crowded. So I just wanted to point out that in the past, it was our 20th anniversary. The first ride was actually scheduled for September 16, 2001, and obviously after 9/11 that was canceled. It was called Twin Towers to Twin Lights. And at the time the board wanted to bring cyclists over from New York. Anyway, obviously that year 635 registered for the first year, and we turned the proceeds over to the 9/11 fund at that time, and then renamed it the next year to Twin Lights Ride. I just wanted to point out that it's the largest cycling event in New Jersey, and I'm really proud that we have that here in probably one of the smallest towns in New Jersey.
Can you let us know how many cyclists were there?
Yes. So it actually looked a lot worse than it was because the town was very crowded. It was 2280. In prior years, we've had as high as almost 3,400. All of the 19 years, the event was always on a Sunday. And it's much better on a Sunday for traffic, ferry, all of the above. And it's also very late in the month. It's normally the last Sunday in September. But due to the 2 Jewish holidays this year, they requested to move it up and have it on a Saturday. And, businesses had weddings and private parties, and it was a beautiful day just shortly after, Labor Day, being late. So it was very, very crowded, very stressful. We've already told them that, it has to be on a Sunday and much later. So we're looking at October 1st, for next year. But I also wanted to point out that, they have worked with us over the years to give, they used to purchase helmets for the children through the rec program, soccer cleats, adoptive benches, and most importantly, they always donate all the leftover food to the food pantry. And, you know, they've given minimal donations. A lot of people think that maybe they should be doing more, but they are a nonprofit as well, and you'd be amazed at how much everything costs. So you think it's a big registration fee, but by the time all is said and done, it's really not. So I just wanted to thank the borough for allowing us to have the chaos, and hopefully, you know, everyone will be supportive, because it really is. And they did a lot of great activities this year for the kids, which I wish we could have promoted more, and obviously we're working on that for next year to get the word out. We did send them into the schools and in the backpacks, but they teach children how to ride a bike. They had an obstacle course, you know, a few more. They made their own streamers. They had activities for the kids this year. So we're trying ways to incorporate more into the community. And I did tell them that the mayor wants the bubbles. The bubbles, palooza. Yeah. So anyway, I just want to say thank you to everyone. The police did a great job, and I know you probably heard some complaints, but there's really a lot of positive that comes out of this, and hopefully, I hope that you will still support us to host the largest cycling event in New Jersey. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public?
Joseph Dorn, 102 Valley Avenue. Just a general statement, before I get to the project on 14 North Peach Street. In my neighborhood, in general, on the hill where I live, in the last couple of years or so, an awful lot of trees have been removed. Some of them have been damaged by some of the storms, some of them have been diseased, but a lot of the healthy trees have been removed. I don't know if they're being removed with permits or not. I'm just making a general statement, general observation, that an awful lot of trees are coming down. I don't know if that's happening elsewhere in other parts of town, but maybe the people in town need to be perhaps educated about the permits that are needed to take down trees. It seems though some of the new homeowners coming into town don't realize and that they need permits to do that. And it's an environmental concern. As we all know, the slope up there is not the most stable. That's just a general statement. Regarding the 14 North Peach Street project, which you're all familiar with, it's been a relatively quiet summer, and but things started to heat up again a couple of weeks ago, just before Labor Day. Although there's a stop work order on the site, the builder continues to bring in fill material, and which I was told that he's allowed to do, because that's site work. He's not building anything. He hasn't even submitted any plans, to my knowledge, for anything up there yet. So in my view, it's an illegal work site. He shouldn't be allowed to do anything. He's only exacerbating the steep slope problem, which you all know that I have. There haven't been any torrential downpours since the one in April, basically. But I'm concerned about the stability of the hill, with all this fill material that he's brought in, supposedly to fill up the hole in which he tore down the house. But he's raising the grade, and he's creating a steeper slope than existed from before. The current assessment is that there's not a problem. I disagree with that assessment. The silk fence that the builder was asked to put up, and which he finally put up after a lot of arguing, a lot of that is flattened out, and a lot of it is filling up with silt. So I have concerns about the next downpour. And there's a potential for an environmental disaster up there, with the amount of fillies brought in and the potential for the amount of mud that can slide down. He has insufficient, in my assessment, erosion control measures installed there. There are people that might disagree with me, but I live there, okay? And I don't agree with some of the things that have been said to me. My lawyer is back from an illness, and I'm meeting with him on Friday morning. I don't know if he's contacted Mr. Ball or not. He has not contacted you? Okay. Because he told me the other day that he had tried to contact you. I wasn't. Okay, so I'll have to bring that up with him again, as to where he's at with that. So my lawyer is back. I am going to meet with him on Friday. So I know it really can't be discussed with me in particular. I'm just making statements in general so everybody's informed and know what's going on. The builder has complete contempt for any of the rules and regulations that the town has, including the steep slope ordinance, which he was in violation of when he started the project back in November. We're at a standstill. And even though we're at a standstill, my property is still in jeopardy. And it's in greater jeopardy now than it was even from a year ago because of all the fill material that he continues to bring in. There hasn't been any activity this week, but who knows, tomorrow we could start doing something else. I know the construction department has limited abilities to enforce the stop work order for some reason. And there's no mechanism in which we can compel the builder to rectify the problems that he's created that did not exist prior to the start of this project. He was mistakenly given permits to put in sewer line, tear down the trees, tear down the house. And, I mean, it's my belief that they were inappropriately given to him without any plans. And so we're at this juncture now, and I'm just really upset, and that's why I'm here. I try not to come here because it sounds like a broken record, but no, I have nothing further to say. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you.
I guess that's the end of the meeting.
I'll make an offer. A motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 7:38. Thank you, everyone.